officials. It happened in Michigan, one of the stops on the Tibetan spiritual leaders tour of the U.S. As the CBC's Cass Rusi reports, one of the Canadian delegates had some sharp words for Beijing.
Wearing traditional Tibetan silk scarves, the Canadian delegation emerged from its private meeting with the Dalai Lama. It was told it would get 20 minutes with the Buddhist monk. Instead, it got more than double that.
They want to know if you like this.
Smiles and laughter here, but the all-party delegation of senators and MPs journeyed from Ottawa to this Michigan university town to discuss the unrest in the Dalai Lama's homeland.
We want not only him, but the world to know that there's a lot of people out there that support not only him, but his cause and his people.
The Dalai Lama says that support is appreciated, especially now.
So they bring us some, inspiration or inspiration, support, and new sort of freshness, or new hope.
In a wide-ranging interview with Peter Mansbridge today, the Dalai Lama continued his attack on Chinese forces.
I think at least 300 to 500 people killed, and then few thousand, at least, I think few thousand, 4,000, I think, already arrested.
He said he is saddened by the continued controversy which has plagued the Beijing Olympic torch relay.
You've quoted Mao, and, power comes from the barrel of a gun, but quoting you, its power comes from the heart.
Ultimately.
Ultimately, but yeah, ultimately. I mean, how do you make...
Not this moment.
Not this moment.
Gun. It is our hand.
That sentiment is shared by this delegate.
I think that China should wisen up and actually look at the Dalai Lama as a solution rather than a threat.
Conservative MP Rob Anders is known for his outspoken remarks against China. He likens the upcoming Beijing Olympics to those held in Berlin in 1936. And that's not all.
The goons that have been employed by China with regard to the torch relay are kind of an example of inappropriate tactics and whatnot. I just hope that Canadian politicians or anybody's politicians and athletes aren't abused for propagandistic purposes.
China's ambassador to Canada hasn't commented on those remarks, nor has he said anything about today's meeting with the Canadian delegation. But earlier this week, a spokesperson condemned such an encounter, saying it would undermine Canada-Chinese relations. Cass Rusi, CBC News, Ann Arbor, Michigan.
And we'll have more of Peter Mansbridge's feature interview with the Dalai Lama later in the program.